Yo, 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 what up, people? What up, people? What up? Welcome back to another edition of Mike on Sports. I am your host. I go by the name of Mike Gross, man. Big ups to that 501 and that 317, man. Little Rock, Indianapolis, we are in the building. And y'all know I already know what it is with me, man. Y'all already know what it is with me, man. Trying to get live at 5. Trying to get lit at 6, coming live and direct, so give me all my respect. Yes, sir, and we had Big EJ in the news today. I call him Big EJ. If you don't know who Big EJ is, that's your problem. But he go by the name of Errol Spence. Big EJ. Out here, he talked about Terrence Crawford. He talked about Keith Thurman, Shawn Porter, Manny Pacquiao. Talked about the young cat, Virgil Ortiz. He touched on a lot of different things. He even talked about Al Heyman and how his relationship with Al Heyman started and how he almost picked Top Rank over Al Heyman. But we got a lot to get into. I got the audio for you guys. We're going to break down the audio. We're going to listen word for word, verbatim, and we're going to have some fun with it today. But before we do that, if you ain't already subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do so. Just go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and then you can hit that notification button and get all my videos as soon as they pop up. Smash that thumbs up button. And yeah, man, without further ado, let's get into Big EJ. Y'all ready for Big EJ? And also, my bad, on the docket, we got Brazil talking about Dillian White, and we got Josh Taylor talking about moving up to 147, but not before he gets that Jose Ramirez fight. So don't forget, man, this is Mike on Sports. Without further ado, man, let's go ahead and get into Big EJ, a.k.a. Errol Spence Jr.
I wouldn't fight him the same.
I'm sure Derek Jacobs wasn't too happy with you, right?
I wouldn't fight him the same, but, if that fight happens again, I'll be open to it. Like I said, it was.
And the fight he is referring to, he's talking about the Shawn Porter fight. Y'all got to excuse me. I missed the first 10 minutes of the Instagram live, so I caught a little bit behind, but I do got enough content for us to have an enjoyable day. But let's go ahead with the video.
Happens again, I'll be open to it. Like I said, it was a great fight. And I think a lot of the fans got their money worth with that fight, definitely.
Well, Staples Center was rocking, especially in that 12th round. Could a rematch with Shawn Porter, does that intrigue you? Does that excite you? Is that a possibility for next year?
Before he get into that, man, I gotta agree with him. That fight was fun for the fans. It was action-packed. It was suspenseful. It was tactical. It was back and forth. I really, really did enjoy that fight, and I really was impressed with the game plan Shawn Porter was able to do on Errol Spence. But Errol said he wouldn't fight that same style again if he was given the Shawn Porter rematch. But let's see how interested he is in the Shawn Porter rematch. Let's see.
It definitely intrigues me, but it's so many fights out there that that have so many fighters that have yet to beat, like Danny Garcia, like Pacquiao, who else? Terrence Crawford. So many fighters that have not yet to beat yet. I'll beat Danny Garcia, Terrence Crawford, Pacquiao. I doubt that I'll fight Shawn Porter again.
So he's looking. Now, look, I don't understand the Danny Garcia route. You know what I'm saying? I thought, Shawn Porter beat Danny. I thought maybe Shawn Porter is more deserving of a fight than Danny Garcia. But nevertheless, he says with guys like Pacquiao and Terrence Crawford and Danny Garcia out there, he don't see himself facing Shawn Porter before he faces those guys. Now, I mean, I can't get mad at that. You know what I'm saying? He wants to face some new blood, and the Shawn Porter fight was a very, very difficult fight for you. Like, nobody is running to fight Shawn Porter. He didn't get the Keith Thurman rematch. You know what I'm saying? He didn't get the Kell Brook rematch, and it looks like he's not going to get the Errol Spence Jr. rematch either. But Manny Pacquiao, with that being said, Manny Pacquiao is a fighter that right now can fight whoever he wants to. Like he has to pick you, and I really think that either two things are going to happen. Either Pacquiao's going to pick Errol Spence, which is going to be a shocker to me. He's like, hey, yeah, let's fight him. Or Al Heyman is going to offer Pacquiao a purse that he cannot say no to, and that's going to drive the fight. I believe that the latter is more likely than the Pacquiao just coming out and picking Errol Spence. I think if Al Heyman comes out and make a big enough offer towards Pacquiao, then that fight could possibly happen. But let's get back to Errol Spence and let's see what he got to say.
Terrence Crawford came out in an interview a few weeks ago, Errol, and he said that, yes, the money has to be right. And
definitely. He's telling the truth. I mean, you got to pay us our worth. Because me and Terrence, we're going to get in there and try to kill each other. So, you got to pay us our worth. And, as long as the money's there, the money's in the pot, and it makes sense, it's definitely going to happen. I did talk to Al about the fight before. We had numerous discussions about it. And, he said the same thing. When it makes sense, it's going to happen. So, hopefully it can happen next year. And, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to fight Terrence Crawford.
Now, look, I have no quarrels with that. Both guys seem to think that in order for them to get in the ring with each other, that the money has to be right, which we all know in the sport of boxing, it comes probably down more to finances than the actual guys. You know what I'm saying? So if the money is right, if both guys feel like the pot is big enough, if both promoters, if both broadcast networks, because let's be honest, Errol Spence is a Fox PBC flagship fighter. Terrence Crawford is a ESPN top ranked flagship fighter. So if that fight happens, you would expect to see another joint pay-per-view with the likes of Wilder and Fury. So I think that if both networks, if both promotional companies, and both fighters are happy with what they're receiving in their purse and their cuts, then the fight will happen. Until then, we as the fans are going to suffer, but what we can keep doing is making this fight relevant. Keep talking about it, keep bringing it up. Like I've been telling people for like years now. When I talk to people who don't watch boxing, who don't even follow the sport of boxing, they always bring up either the heavyweight division, or they always bring up these two guys right here, man. When is Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford going to fight each other? They ain't bringing up Manny Pacquiao. They ain't bringing up Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter. They want these two guys to get in the ring like we all do. And I think that the fight is bigger than what people will anticipate it being. But with that being said, let's get back to the audio.
His fans and people from Omaha and just a lot of his fans saying that I'm ducking them. That's not the case at all. I'd have FaceTime Terrence Crawford before anyway. We did FaceTime probably a couple months ago. I talked about the fight and things like that. So, definitely no ducking in our situation at all. I'm not the type of guy that's gonna duck anybody. So, it's gonna happen. It's definitely gonna happen. It's more of a mutual respect. I feel like, Terrence Crawford.
Now, real quick, to all the Terrence Crawford fans like me and everybody out there, Earl wanted to just let it be known that he ain't ducking Terrence Crawford. He ain't ducking or dodging or swerving or doing none of that. He letting it be known that we had a FaceTime. And we agreed that the fight must happen, that the fight will happen. That's what I like to hear from two guys that are at the top of the welterweight division. Have a FaceTime, have a sit down, have a little conversation. Talk about the fight and what you guys can do to make the fight bigger and make the fight happen faster. And hopefully the year 2021, after all this coronavirus is over with, after we see Errol Spence come back in the ring against Danny Garcia, and he looks great, man, hopefully we can get that fight, man, not in the immediate future. Hopefully at the first half of 2021. Why wait around? But let's get back to Errol Spence and why he has a mutual respect for Terrence Crawford.
It's really himself. A lot of guys I really don't like them because I feel like they they fake. You know, like I feel like Keith Thurman get fake, so I couldn't call him have a discussion with him because I feel like he's just a fake dude.
Damn. Talk about shots fired. Shots fired. He feels like Keith Thurman is a fake dude. He doesn't feel like he could call and have a conversation with Keith Thurman like he did Terrence Crawford. That gotta hurt, you know what I'm saying? All the Keith Thurman fans out there that maybe even gotta agitate Keith Thurman just a tad bit, you know what I'm saying? Make him a little pissed off. Like, man, how you gonna call me fake, man? I've been doing this shit longer than you. You a pup. I'm the motherfucking guy who been there in the division being unified before you. You calling me fake? You calling me fake? I'm just saying from a Keith Thurman perspective, that's how I would probably would react. But let's also see who he believes is not really real.
I feel like sometimes Sean Porter, you know, he just be talking out the side of his mouth, and you know, it's a lot of guys, but like guys like Pacquiao and
Feel like Sean Porter sometimes ain't what he say he is. Like he be talking out the side of his mouth. But look, I can say this about Sean Porter. Sean Porter's the same guy that I seen from when I started boxing to now, man. He like the money hasn't changed Sean Porter. It just amped up who he really is. He still wears those big suits, shiny, bright suits with the bow ties, you know what I'm saying? He still has the same kind of look, you know what I'm saying? He's not out here Hollywood. But we all got to admit, you know what I'm saying? Like, and this goes for everybody. When the bag goes up, when the money goes up, the swag kind of goes up too. And you see that with Sean Porter, and you see that with Errol Spence. The swag going up a little bit. People are more confident inside themselves. So I can't necessarily agree with Sean Porter because he hasn't really changed. But Keith Thurman been talking a lot of shit, man. Talking a lot of shit about what he was going to do to Pacquiao. He got T-Rex arms. He was going to crucify him. And we seen how that fight went. But I digress, man. Let's get back to the audio.
guys like Terrence Crawford, you know, I feel like, you know, they're real dudes, you know. Danny Garcia, I feel like, you know, he's a genuine guy too. I done talked to him before and things like that. So, but, you know, but at the same time, in the day, I feel like I watched Terrence Crawford.
You think you'll watch him?
Whoa. Where did that come from? Where did that come from, Earl? You feel like you'll watch Terrence Crawford? You got to elaborate, big dog. You got to elaborate. What makes you think that you can watch Terrence Crawford? Let's get back to the audio because I can't wait to hear this.
Yeah, I feel like I beat him. I'll punish him.
Would you be looking for a stoppage then, Errol? Is that what you're telling me, that you'd stop him? Or would you rather beat him up for 12 rounds?
Nah, definitely. If that guy, if the Russian dude, whoever he fought, could knock him down or to drop him, you know, I definitely have a great chance of stopping him. I think he's been hurt by Gamboa too, so I definitely have a great chance of stopping him. But I respect his skill set. He got good skills, but I think I definitely stop him, especially how focused I am right now. Because, you know, usually even the Sean Porter fight, I was blowing up to like when Sean Porter and the Mike Garcia fight. Matter of fact, the Mike Garcia.
Before we get to how much he was blowing up and weight and things like that, so you feel like you will punish Terrence Crawford. You would stop Terrence Crawford because you seen Egis Kavalowski knock him down. And I don't think that was a knockdown, but I possibly am in the minority with that. So that gave you confidence. Hey, look here, man. I'm not the one to tell a man what to derive his confidence from. But we all know. Can we just sit back and be knowledgeable boxing fans for a moment? We all know the way Terrence Crawford fought Egis Kavalowski, he would not come in there with the same game plan against Errol Spence Jr. In my mind, he wanted to go out there against Egis and make a statement. He wanted to bully the guy. He wanted to knock the guy out. He never been stopped, never been down. He wanted to do all that to that guy, and that's what he was able to pull off. I don't think that Terrence Crawford would go out there and implement the same game plan against Errol Spence. I think it'll be a lot more tactical, a lot more boxing, and a lot more counter punching and smart with your shots. But what I can say is this: I like the fact in the way that EJ is talking. it really tells me, like, after that accident, which he stated in this interview, he really got back to boxing. He really got back to maintaining his weight, watching old YouTube videos, like he said, studying the game, learning things about the game that he can put into his own game. I really like the rededication and refocus that Errol Spence is saying that he has now. And if that's the case, I'm telling y'all right now, it's going to take a lot from any man in the welterweight division to beat this guy. But I do think Terrence Crawford has what it takes year in and year out, day in and day out. We never heard about Terrence Crawford having troubles blowing up in weight. We always see Terrence Crawford. He's always a gym rat. Talked to Bo Mack last week. He let me know that during this quarantine thing, ain't nothing changed for Terrence Crawford. He's still in the gym, still doing 2 a day, still working out, still doing his strength and conditioning, and he is looking forward to fight anybody at the welterweight division, and possibly even moving up to 154. If you want to check out the interview that I did with Bo Mack, it is on the YouTube page as we speak. But back to Errol Spence and him saying that he had a problem in the Mikey Garcia fight and the Sean Porter fight with blowing up in weight before those fights happened. Let's see what Earl got to say.
Fight. The day of the weigh-ins, I had to sit in a sauna for like 2 hours. I didn't sweat.
Really?
And I had a sauna bag on and everything. And I didn't sweat till like probably an hour to being in the sauna. And I didn't sweat at all. Even the Sean Porter fight, like, I had blown up to like 190 or something like that. And then, had to lose it all. Then, killing myself to make weight.
Why was that?
I got a lot of stuff to prove people wrong. It's a lot of things that people been saying, and YouTube, or is he still gonna be the same? Can he fight the same? Is his reflex still gonna be the same? So I still got a lot to prove that in the ring and to prove to other people that I'm still the same Errol Spence.
And I like that, man. I like the fact that he's been conscious about watching YouTube and watching these writers make stories about him and saying that he might not come back the same way. He may not be the same Errol Spence that he was. So that rededication to the sport and him being healthy, he has a gripe to pick with some of the YouTubers out there, some of the boxing writers out there, and he wants to just show them that ain't nothing changed. I'm even better than I was before the car wreck. That car wreck was a blessing in disguise for me. It wasn't well, never mind. It was a negative in my life, but I turned that negative into a positive, and I'm using it in the right way, getting myself together, getting my career in order, and getting my life back on track. So I big ups to Errol Spence for that, man. I really like when guys react to tragic situations like that the way he did. But back to the audio.
Do you feel Zach, not perfect, but do you feel like you've been unfairly criticized by members of the media and fight fans?
Some members of the media, and about fight fans, some people can be cruel, and say all type of stuff, but I don't feel like I've been unfairly criticized, because when somebody get into a car accident like I got into. And the car flipped that many times, and I get thrown out the car, and everything that that I've been through in that car accident and stuff like that. People gonna have thoughts. People have thoughts. People have opinions, and on my situation, and they want to see how I'm gonna come back. So that's just added motivation for myself, and it fuels me, and makes me work way harder. And I actually do get on YouTube or see the tweets on Twitter people have been saying, because it's added motivation for me.
Going on.
Now, look, I like what he said about that, man. I ain't got no quarrels with that. I'm glad that he's not taking it personal, you know what I'm saying? Not really holding a vendetta for guys having opinions. Like he said, when you're in a wreck of that magnitude, people are going to have things to say. People are going to have doubts in their mind, not knowing if you can come back how you were when you fought Sean Porter, you know what I'm saying? So I'm glad he's not taking that personal. I'm glad he can understand the difference of how people react and how people have opinions. So man, yeah, man, just big ups to Errol Spence for not being one of those guys who's gonna hold a vendetta towards the media or towards a YouTube page.
In weight to 154, possibly even 160, is in your future. You're 30 years of age now. How long do you want to remain here at 147?
Till I finish my goal, and then my goal is to become undisputed welterweight champion of the world. So when I become undisputed, I definitely move up. But until then, I'll be standing at 147. I don't care if I got to cut a leg off.
That was music to my ears, man. Music to my ears for all of the Terrence Crawford fans like me out there. We ain't gotta worry. We ain't gotta worry about Errol Spence moving up to 154 or 160 without fighting Terrence Crawford. We ain't gotta worry about that. He said, and I take a man at his word. He is not moving up to 154 or 160 until he gets all the titles and becomes undisputed welterweight champion. And we all know if you plan on doing that, you got to go through Terrence Crawford to do it. I think Errol Spence beats Manny Pacquiao. I'm sorry. I think Errol Spence is a better fighter at this point in time than Manny Pacquiao is. I think Manny Pacquiao is possibly too small for a guy like Errol Spence. But with that being said, that was music to my ears as a Terrence Crawford fan, knowing that Errol Spence would not move up to 154 or to 160 before he is undisputed welterweight champion. Music to my ears. Yes, sir. Back to the audio.
Or anything, later on in your career. But Tyron was trying to give him money now, and then actually my dad, convinced me to go with Mr. Heyman because he was like, you two worry about right now. I'm a young kid. I want some money. I'm broke. I got about
you wanted all the money.
I got like $5,000 in my account. I'm like, man, I'm trying to go with Top Rank. They trying to give me a signing bonus, things like that. But, I didn't understand, I had to pay that back. And, and Al wasn't talking about right now. He was talking about later on in my career. I was too focused on the now instead of the later, and Al helped me realize that actually my dad helped me realize that because I was worried about the now instead of the later.
Hey, man, all I can say is this. Al Heyman, you know what I'm saying, is time in and time out again is proven to be a good guy. Really, really take care of his fighters and made Errol Spence understood that the future was more important than the present. So big ups to Al Heyman for that, you know what I'm saying? Al Heyman is just one of those guys that you don't see a lot in the sport, but time after time again, people talk about Al Heyman in such a high sense, you know what I'm saying? So he really, really take care of his guys, and that's something that I love to hear. Let's go ahead and move along, man. That was it for the Errol Spence little saga today. We got some news from he think that he can knock out Dillian Whyte. That's what he told Sky Sports. But before we get to the what I think about him and what the Dillian Whyte fight, let's go ahead and give you the story right quick. Brazil, and we all know he only fought twice since November of 2017. His last loss was to Deontay Wilder of May of last year. He says that Dillian Whyte is among the names on Brazil's list of preferred comeback opponents. He told Sky Sports this: I think it's a pressure style fight. He's going to bring it for a little bit. I'm going to bring it for a little bit. In the end, the fans are going to be very pleased with what they get out of a fight between myself and Dillian Whyte. He's a knockout artist. He loves to throw leather with bad intentions, and I like to do the same. I think I have the upper hand on him as far as strength and athletic ability. Of course, with size. In the end, I think I come out with a knockout win for sure. That's what Dominic Brazil feels about, you know what I'm saying, his chances in a fight with Dillian Whyte. Now look, man, I'm not as down on Dominic Brazil as some people are. You know what I'm saying? Some people think Dominic Brazil is trash. He's not. He's not good. He's just an all talk kind of guy. But I think Dominic Brazil is a very dangerous heavyweight, and I think, you know what I'm saying, given the right fight, given the right opponent, he can be hell for anybody. And we all know that Dillian Whyte is not the biggest heavyweight, even though he has a good reach. You know what I'm saying? He does have a good reach to be his size. But as far as mass, as far as height, he's not that tall. And Dominic Brazil is like 6'7". So if he can be able to work behind that jab, who knows? But back to the story. White has the better resume of wins with victory over Joe Parker, Derek Chisora, Oscar Rivas, and several others. So yeah, I do think that looking at each other's resume, I would give the nod towards Dillian Whyte. Those wins over Joe Parker right after AJ beat him, hey, it is what it is. Oscar Rivas wins kind of tainted, we on Oscar Rivas' team didn't know that Dillian Whyte was some controversy before the fight. Derek Chisora fight win. The first win was nip and tuck. The second win, he was getting beat until like the 11th round where he caught Chisora with a big time left hook and was able to knock him out. He got the Robert Helenius win, which looks better now. What else win does he have? That's a pretty solid win on his resume. We got the Povetkin fight coming up this fall, so that right there would be another good win. But Brazil says my ability to have been in the ring with some of the best heavyweights in the division so far will be too much for him. Brazil said, I think he has a problem making adjustments as far as fighting guys who can box as well as fighting guys who can throw leather. I studied him for a little while. We were in some heavy contract negotiations. I think at this point, he's a top-class heavyweight fighter from the UK. I'm a top-class heavyweight fighter from America. It makes for a great fight. Now, look, I definitely think it makes for a great fight. I was kind of upset that this fight didn't happen last year when they were talking about it and things like that. Now, do I think that Dominic Brazil can beat Dillian Whyte? I don't know, man. I think as the fight goes longer, it favors Dillian Whyte more. I think Brazil has a problem with his gas tank. He tends to slow down and get kind of sloppy in those kind of fights. Dillian Whyte, you know what I'm saying, kind of the same way, you know what I'm saying, but I just think Dillian Whyte has a little bit better gas tank than what Dominic Brazil has. Who hits harder? I don't know, man, because Dominic Brazil is a guy who's 6'7", 270, you know what I'm saying, somewhere around there. And I always say, man, like I said against Wilder and Fury, like, when a guy's 270 and he punchy, I don't give a fuck who you are. That shit gonna have some kind of effect on you, you know what I'm saying? And Brazil being that tall with that kind of reach and punching down on Dillian Whyte, who knows? But Dillian Whyte is the body snatcher. He goes to the body well. He throws that left hook very well. He had Joshua wobble. He hurt Joe Parker with the shot. He knocked out Derek Chisora. You know what I'm saying? I think did he knock down Oscar Rivas? I'm not sure in that fight. But who do I think that is going to be able to win this fight? That's a tough. This is a 50-50 fight, man. These one of these fights that you gotta watch until like the weigh-in, see how both guys come in. Then you gotta know where the location is for this fight. It's a very, very intriguing fight for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a heavyweight kind of guy, and I like both of these guys. You know what I'm saying? I think both of these guys are solid individuals and can be a threat for anybody on any given night in the heavyweight division. But who do I think will win this fight? Man, if I had to pick one right now. If I had to go with one right now, I would have to go with Dillian Whyte. He's been more active. He's following probably the overall better competition, even though Brazil has fought Joshua and Wilder, you know what I'm saying? But outside of that, those are the only two names. You can't put Amir Mansour or my guy from Poland, the black guy from Poland in that conversation. So I would say Dillian Whyte, and Dillian Whyte has been more active. Like we read earlier, Brazil only fought twice since 2017, and it's 2020. You're supposed to have at least 6 fights in, like at least 2 a year, if not 3 a year. So I would have to lean more towards Dillian Whyte, but I do think that Trouble Dominic Brazil is a live dog in that fight. Made no mistake about it. Can he knock out Dylan White? Hell yeah, he can. If you catch him with the right shot, can Dylan White knock him out? You damn right he can. You damn right he can. So whoever lands the shot first, whoever in the best shape, and whoever got the best chin to withstand some of that punishment is gonna come out on top. But let's go ahead and move right along, man. Let's get to the last story of the day. Yes, sir. What we got on the day, man? With Ben Davison as his trainer. I think Ben Davison can add a lot of stuff to his game that he didn't necessarily have at first. We've seen him fight Regis, and we've seen his inside game is pretty damn good. Ben Davison can help with that outside game. But we all know that his fight with, what's his name? What's the guy's name again? What's that guy's name again? That guy's name is, I don't even know that motherfucker name. Panon Kong Song. It was delayed on May 2nd due to the coronavirus pandemic that's going around the globe that shut down all major sporting events. Even though Dana White has said today that UFC is going on, it's gonna be Tony Ferguson versus Justin Poirier, whatever, somebody, man. Justin Gaethje, man. So we're not gonna get the Khabib fight, which is not good for any kind of comeback, you know what I'm saying, sports fan. But at least we'll have something to watch and something to look forward to with this UFC shit. But back to boxing. We all know that his training camp was abruptly came to a break in Las Vegas, blah, blah, blah. But this, he said, hopefully it all goes well. But I might not even fight this year, which is sad, man. It's gonna be a lot of guys out there who probably don't fight this year due to coronavirus, or guys who were scheduled to fight 2 or 3 times this year who only fight once this year. And depending on when the world starts moving again, it might be guys who really don't fight but one time or no time this year because of the budget at the end of the year, because of all the competing sports that's going to be on. You got football, basketball, playoffs, and you got boxing, all probably baseball, all coming back around at the same time. So it's going to be a lot of motherfucking maneuvering. Maybe even have more fights on Friday night. Who knows? Might even have some goddamn fights on Tuesday night, man. Or some special events on Tuesday night, you know what I'm saying? So you got to get creative, you know what I'm saying? Now, as being a marketer or a person who's in charge of scheduling these events, because you're gonna have to compete with a lot of sports coming back in. Like it's not gonna be no walk in the park. Like you're gonna have to really structure your boxing events in a way that your fans can enjoy it, and you can also bring in the casual fans to watch your event. But I digress. When we get back to normality, hopefully I become the undisputed champion and move up to 147. Now look, if you want to become undisputed at 140, you know what you got to do. It's a guy out there in I forgot what Jose be fighting at all the damn time. I'm sorry, Jose, but I know you be selling out that motherfucking arena every time you fight. He out there on the West Coast in California, trained by Robert Garcia, WBO, WBC champion of the world. Craig. And he got belts too. He unified too. You really think you got what it takes to beat Jose? Now look, man, if I had to pick right now, I'm leaning towards Josh Taylor. I think he fought the better competition so far. But Jose Ramirez, what I seen against Maurice Hooker, I thought that was a more 50-50 fight than what I seen. Jose was a man on a mission, like a man possessed in that fight, and he really went out there and did a number on Maurice Hooker. Like no slight, no disrespect to Maurice, but man, Jose put it on his ass. He put it on his ass real good. Now look, he says, I've been told by my management that if I do get the Ramirez fight, that it might happen in the UK. See, look, I know I don't like that, man. You know, you can get the UK to come to Vegas And if you get the UK to come to Vegas, you know damn Jose gonna make them motherfuckers come from California. Why this fight gotta be over in the UK? Why this man's Josh Taylor steady getting his hometown cooking? He fought Regis over in the UK. Now he fighting Jose Ramirez in the UK. Come on, man, put that shit on the even playing field. Put it down in Dallas, Texas, or something. Put that shit on the even playing field. Make them Scottish people bring their ass to goddamn Dallas. They'll like Dallas, man. There's plenty of white people down in Dallas. They'll fit right on in. Right on in. I digress. Even non-title fights at 147 pounds are massive because of all the names. You got Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, Manny Pacquiao. Some of those fights might happen in Scotland. Or why did this nigga only want to fight the big fights in Scotland, man? What is going on? Why you only want to fight these guys in Scotland? We in America. Pay-per-view, American pay-per-view. You think Al gonna let Keith, Sean, and Manny go to fucking Scotland? Man, you must have bumped your goddamn head. But anyway, some of these fights might happen in Scotland. I want to give the Scottish fans big fights. Obviously, I want to go to America and see my name in the bright lights at MGM or Madison Square Garden. Every fighter dreams of that. Taylor, who recently signed, we all know he signed with Top Rank, has now teamed up with Ben Davidson, who also has coaching duties with Billy Joe Saunders and previously Tyson Fury. So he's in a pretty good stable. Maybe he can learn some tips from Billy Joe Saunders on how to fight off the back foot, and Billy Joe can maybe learn some things from him on how to fight, how to get on the inside and fight Canelo. Who knows? With Ben, I'm learning different techniques. I'm getting more leverage on my left hand and my jabs a bit longer. We're making leaps and bounds. So it's just a shame we've not able to put what I've been learning to practice. I don't think I'm going to see Ben for the foreseeable. So we're going to be starting again once we get back to it. So why don't you guys just don't like Skype and, you know what I'm saying, put the little thing on the side. Put your little earbuds in, let him see you, make sure he has a clear view of what you're doing in the ring, and then he can give you tips. Like, we got technology now, baby. You ain't got to see him in the person. You can put that damn phone on the table, stream that motherfucker, you know what I'm saying, put your earbuds in. You can hear him word for word because the earbuds work great. The earbuds work damn good. So I think, you know what I'm saying, you and Ben shouldn't stop, you know what I'm saying, working. Maybe start working every day. Maybe do it like once or twice a week. But you definitely got to stay in contact with them as far as like boxing tips and boxing training going. But I digress, man. Yep. But that's pretty much it for the day, y'all. We just, you know what I'm saying, did a little boxing show. Errol Spence made my day, made my news. I know that there's some Tyson Fury news out there, but I'm going to save that for tomorrow. I'm just compiling on all the information. Man. Fury out here talking a little bit reckless, man, about Wilder doing the next fight for money. We gonna address that, Fury. Just wait. We gonna address it tomorrow, man. We gonna damn sure address what you've been saying. But until next time, man, y'all know what it is. This is being Mike on Sports, man. Smash that thumbs up button. Tell a friend about Mike on Sports. If you ain't already subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do so. And yeah, man, until next time, y'all know what it is. Yes, sir.